I'm gonna let it shine. No, I'm the baby of 20 children, born in Montgomery County, Mississippi. And I gotta tell you, they ain't come no poorer than us. I only went to about 3rd grade, because see, the rest of the year, we was out there in the fields. We had to plant cotton, chop cotton, pick cotton, and then old Mr. come and take everything we had. Not only did he take all of our crops, he left us in debt. Now I got around 86 years old, I was already picking 30 pounds. Wasn't too much longer after that, I was picking 60. By the time I was 13 years old, I was bringing in 300 pounds of cotton. It occurred to me, seemed like there's only black folks that got to be doing this here kind of work. Maybe rebellious. And I knew how to do my get back because I worked in that house. You see, they told me right up front, they did not want me eating from their table and they didn't want me to bath in their tub. But they don't know. I ate from their table before they ate. And I bathed in their tub when they wasn't home. Ooh, how I just love to lay back in that tub and just soak in all that hot water, wash with their soap, use their washcloth, knowing they would have 40 fits if they ever caught me in that tub. Yes, indeed I did. Though I didn't tell you who I was. My name is Fannie Lou Hamer. I live 626 Lafayette Place in Sunflower County, Mississippi. Yes, indeed. I remember one time, my mom and daddy, they had managed to save a few nickels and pennies, and they were able to get some livestock, a couple of cows, a couple of mules. But you can't have nothing to peace around white folks. Old Mister put something in their food and killed all our livestock. Yes, he did too. Left us with nothing. We ain't have nothing but that plantation house. You ever been in one? Ain't fitting for a dog. One room. Ain't no running water, no electricity, dirt floor. May the Lord bless you when the rains come. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Mama told me I had 11 brothers and sisters, but they were all sold off by the time I knew what was going on. I was the only one left. The only one left. So on a daily basis, I could see my mama crying and just praying for her poor little old bell not to be sold off. A lot of times I would see her outside just rocking back and forth, looking up at the sky, with tears flowing down her face. I would say, Mama Beth, what ails you? She said, oh girl, plenty ails me. I don't know where my children be. And they don't know where I'll be. Oh, I just want to hold them next to my bosom. I don't know where my children be. I bet they're looking up at that same moon and the stars right now, just like me, wondering where I'll be and wondering where they'll be. I just hope that God will keep them safe wherever they may be. I said, Mama, Dad, and a flock of sheep, and I went along the bar with them. That was the first time I was sold. First time to the needies. The second time I was sold to the scribers. And the third time I was sold to the Dumans. When I went to the scribers were just mean to be plain old mean. Mrs. Neely would tell me to bring the log for the fireplace, and I would bring the broom or the pan, and she would just beat me. And beat me. You see, I just didn't understand the language. We were brought up in a Dutch household, so I only spoke Low Dutch. And even when I learned what the objects meant, she still beat me morning, noon, and night. She just beat me to beat me. And one day out of the blue, Mr. into the barn, and after he had his way with me, he tied me up. And he just commenced to beat me. And just beat me. And then when he finished beating me, he stopped for a while, and I looked around. He got some ropes and wires and started putting them together. And he commenced to beat me some more. I clenched my fist so tight, I made my own self bleed. I could feel the blood just dripping down my wrists. And with him beating me, I could feel the blood just dripping down my back. I said, I didn't let him hear a word come out of me. So he just beat me. And he beat me until he got tired, and he just left me there. Left me there bleeding. Somehow my daddy got the word. My daddy got the word about the awful beating. My daddy come see about me. That's the first time I seen my daddy cry. My daddy wanted to hug me, but my daddy didn't want to feel the blood. Daddy cut me down. And I said, girl, I gotta do something. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you with all the beatings, girl. I gotta find somebody else to buy you. I gotta find somebody else to buy you, girl, because they're gonna kill you with all the beats in my poor little bell. They're gonna kill you, girl. So my daddy convinced the scribers to buy me, to save my life from all the beats, because they're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill the whole little bell.
About the 9th of June, I was coming back from a voter registration conference. See, I was learning how to pass those literacy tests so I could go back and teach others how to register to vote and get that literacy test and give them the right to vote. It was all about voting. We was on our way home from South Carolina, and we pulled over to a stop in Winona, Mississippi. Some people got out to stretch their legs and use the washroom, get a little bite to eat. I stayed on the bus. But I happened to look up, and I saw the people coming on out, just running out. So I had to step up and see what was going on. And they said, get back on the bus. Get back on the bus. Then I saw these cops over here. They charging us, and one of them said, get that one there. Boy, let me know. Well, the people was running out the station, and the police is coming over here. We all converged on the bus. And the police told us that we was under arrest, going to take us in. And the highway patrolman grabbed me, pushed me all the way to the patrol car. Just before I got in, he kicked me. And he cursed me all the way down to the station. Me and Vesta Simpson was in a cell together. Lord knows it was something. And what long before we heard the echoes, the screams, terrible licks coming from that way. We heard more screams. We heard those terrible licks. Their echo would make your blood run cold. By and by, they brought this young girl right past that cell. She couldn't have been more than 15, 16 years old. And she was washed down in blood. And then one of the guards told the inmate to go back there in that cell with a mop and bucket clean up that blood. After she passed, we heard the echoes of more screams, horrible licks. But another young girl, right past that cell, her eyes were just all bloody. And her clothes were torn down to her waist. Well, of course, you know, it wasn't long before they came and they got me. 3 white patrolmen. And they took me back to the bullpen where 2 Negro inmates were standing there. Highway patrolman handed one a blackjack and told me to lay down on the bunk bed. And then the Negro officer said, the Negro inmate said, "You want me to beat her with this?" And a highway patrolman said, "You got that right. Because if you don't, you best know what I'm going to do to you." And that Negro inmate beat me. He beat me. He beat me until he felt exhausted. He beat me till he couldn't beat me no more. And then that patrolman gave the other inmate that same blackjack so he could beat me some more. He beat me all up and down my side, all up and down my back. And I began to work my feet because the pain was so hard. Lord Jesus. Oh. And then he told the inmate, the first inmate, to sit on my feet to keep me from working them. Don't you see? That's when I began to scream. I screamed. I never felt pain like that before ever in my life. And that white patrolman started beating me all off my head, telling me to hush. So I got an inmate on my feet. I got one that beating me to death on my body, and I got the white officer whipping me in my head. I got a blood clot right today. I can't see straight out this eye from that head whooping. And over here on my right side, gave me permanent kidney damage. Now, I never could walk right. I had polio as a child, but it was even worse after that beating. You know, I never had it in my mind to quit working for civil rights, but after they beat me the way they did, I knew nothing but God and death was going to stop me. I was going through all of this because I wanted to register my people to vote.
After being sold for 3 times, the last time after 2 months, I just continued to grow older and stronger. Sometimes I would hear them say, "See old Belle right there? She don't give me no trouble. All she do is pray all day long and work." I could hear them talking about me. I was never old, but I was always big for my age. So I continued working after 2 months. By now, my mom and dad, they were gone. All my brothers and sisters gone. And I fell in love with a slave by the name of Robert. And Robert would come and see me on Sundays, my 1 day off. Well, I couldn't wait for Robert to come see me. We would walk down by the pond and we would get rocks and throw it in the pond. And sometimes he would find wildflowers and give them to me. And we would sit by that big oak tree and just talk about everything. Oh, we would talk about the sun and the moon and everything, but mostly we would talk about what would it feel like to be free? What would it feel like to be free? Would we look different? Everything we have would be ours. We'll plant flowers, it would be our flowers. We'll plant crops, it would be ours. We raise chickens and hogs, it would be our chicken and hog. We'll build a little cabin, it would be our little cabin. But what would it feel like to be free? So of course, Master Duma wasn't going to have none of that. He arranged for Robert to be beaten. And to beat Robert so bad, After a couple of months, he died from all the beatings. I said, oh Lord, it seems like everyone I care about is taken away from me. All my brothers and sisters sold off, mom and dad are gone. I really love Robert, and now he's gone. We're talking about getting married someday. You know, none of that's going to happen. So Master Dumas says, well, Belle, you're old enough now to take on a husband. So he had someone picked out for me, an older man by the name of Rod Thomas. I didn't want to get married, but I had no say in the matter. So I got married to Thomas, and together we had 5 children. I had 4 girls and 1 boy. Well, I had another boy, but he died at birth. So I named my little boy Peter, because Mama told me I had a brother named Peter. My oldest daughter was Diana. I had Mary, Elizabeth, and my youngest was Sophie. Or I would take my children in the field with me to work, and I would tie Sophie on my back. When Sophie got too tired, I would take Sophie off and hang her on a tree limb, just let her swing in the breeze. I'll continue on working. As long as she was swinging in the breeze and not quiet, I know everything would be just fine. Everything would be just fine. But of course, in the fields is where you find out where everything's going on. This particular day, I hear everybody talking. I said, what's everybody whispering about? I said, oh, we heard something in the big house. We're gonna pass it on and make sure everybody hear about it. I said, well, what did y'all hear? I said, well, we hear that there's a law. New York State's gonna pass a law in 3 years' time, July 4th, 1827. Said anybody born after 1797, a woman 25 could be free, a man 19 could be free. I said, y'all sure you got the dates and the time right? I said, yeah. I said, well, tell me again one more time and make sure I got it right. I said, well, in 3 years' time, New York State's gonna pass a law, July 4th, 1827, saying that anybody born before 1797, woman 25, a man 19 could be free. Oh, I thought about that. I didn't quite know how old I was, but I figured in 3 years' time I should be at least 25. I said, that's me. In 3 years' time I can be a free woman. Mama said, work real hard to show yourself proof in your master's eyes. Oh, I started working around the clock. I started picking all the beans and putting them in jars in the smokehouse. Oh, I started getting all the wool off the sheep. I started getting all the hay and putting them in big bales. 1 year passed, 2 years passed, and all the slaves said, Belle, what you doing, Belle? You in the field from sunrise to sunset? Well, what you doing? I said, because in a year and a half I can be a free woman. I come to that law and I believe in the law. I said, no, Belle. This is how you survive around here, Belle. And Master Dumas around and work real hard. As soon as he turned his back, you ease up a bit, Belle. That's how you survive, girl. See, he's getting ready to go into town. As soon as he get around the curve, I'm going to go under the tree and take a nap. And have one of the little children wake me up when he comes back. That's what you do, Belle. Where you going? You're going to kill your fool self. I said, no. I want to have everything done so you will have nothing to say. Well, go on, don't say I didn't warn you. As for me, I'm going to take a nap. You're going to kill your fool self. Oh, I continued to work. 2 years time passed. 2 years and a half, I cut my finger. So bad I wrapped that finger up, and I would saw with that one hand, get all the wood, put it in one pile. 3 years time came, have everything done. I can't sleep tonight, because in the morning I'm going to get my free papers. Oh, I thought about everything I could do being a free woman. I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to learn to read and write. And I'm going to make sure my children learn to read and write. I looked out the window. I'm going to get some pretty sackcloth and make sure I can make my daughter some nice dress. Maybe I'll have me a school. I'll start me a school. I'll call it the Belle School. And I'll have a school here. Maybe I'll have a school in every city. Make sure everybody learn to read and write. Oh, the sun's not even up yet. I said, well, I'm going to walk real slow. By the time I get to his house, maybe the sun will be up. So I walked real slow. And sure enough, as soon as I got to his house, the sun was just peeking. Says, I can't wait any longer. Who is it? Master Dumont, it's me, Belle. It better be important. What is it? The sun's not even up, Master Dumont. Today is July 4th, sir. The day that New York State passed that law saying the right to be a free woman. What? Hold up, I'll be right out. Oh. When he finally came out, he was fixing his suspenders. He said, it better be important. Wake me up, because the sun's not even up yet. All this talk about some free day. I said, Master Dumont, this is the day that New York State passed that law saying I could be a free woman. You sure this is the day? I said, yes, sir. I got 3 sticks and I've been marking it every day. It's been 3 years. And we've been hearing you talk to other people about it. We go into town, we see a paper, we say, what that paper say? And they said, the paper said, and a woman 25 could be free today, sir. I'm 25. Well now, you cut your finger one time, that should put off for some more time. I said, no, sir. Look, as far as you can see behind the barn, everything's done. All the beans picked and put in the shed. All the wood's piled up. All the hay's put in bale, all the wool off the sheep. Everything's done, as far as your eyes can see. Well now. But you cut your finger, that should put on at least 3 more years right there. I said, no, sir. I said, Dumont, I worked so hard for these 3 years, sir. You go in the house and you sign the papers. You bring it out, I can put my mark on it. You ain't gonna sign the papers? Master Dumont, I worked so hard for these 3 days. 3 years. I can't wait for another 3 years to be free. He slammed the door. I waited there till night. He never did come out. Mama said, pray, Belle. I said, oh, dear God, what shall I do, dear God? What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? Walk away, Belle. Walk away, Belle. Is that you, God? Let's look at my children back there. Walk away, Belle. I can't disappoint God. So I put everything I had in a little knapsack. And I told the older slaves, please look after my children for me. Look after my children. I gotta go to my freedom, but I'll be back for them. So I took my youngest daughter, Sophie, because she was a sucking baby, and I walked away. I walked away.
Well, at least she had children. They stole that from me. Let me tell you something. I had to go into the hospital to get a tumor removed. Well, the next thing I know, they took everything out. They did that a lot to Negro women. They didn't know no different. See, in this way, the men folk had their way with you and didn't have to worry about making feet for socks. You get me? Some of the same white folks, they be talking about, well, I just don't believe in integration. But I'm here to tell you there's a whole lot of integration that be going on when the sun go down. Because if it wasn't so, you wouldn't have all these light-skinned Negroes walking around here with you.
After I walked away with my child, I walked for 3 days. And the more I walked, I wasn't scared no more. I walked right up to a little cabin, and I knocked on the door. And belonged to a Quaker family called the Van Wagoners. And I told them my story. They said, oh, Belle, come in. You and your daughter, you're welcome here. You can stay here for as long as you like. Don't lift a finger, just rest, Belle. You're going through so much. But I didn't want to appear to be lazy, so I would help with the raking of the leaves and stacking of the logs and hanging the clothes on the line. They said, Belle, don't lift a finger, you've gone through so much. That night they said, you and your daughter can sleep here in the spare bedroom. Oh, I ain't never slept in a bed before. I was about to go under the bed. They said, no, Bella, no. You sleep on top of the bed, Bella. Put your head on the pillow and pull the covers over. Oh, I did just that. That bed was so nice and soft. I slept there every night. But I said, this bed can make you lazy. I slept way past sunrise. Oh, but I slept in that bed day in and day out. Oh, and I continued to pray and sing every day and pray and sing every day. I stayed with the Van Wagner so long, I was using their last name. I was calling myself Isabel Van Wagner. And after about 4 years or so, the word got back to me. Dumont sold my son to his brother down in Alabama. When you sell someone deep south, you never see them again. I went back there, I said, I'll have my son back. He said, I'll tell you we'll meet again, but you'll never see your son again. It's a done deal. You'll never see your son again. It's a done deal. I said, what you did was illegal. It's illegal to sell anyone across state lines. See, I heard that working in the big house. It's illegal to sell anyone across state lines. I said, I'll have my son back. So I walked into Long Island. I walked into New York City. I walked into Kingston. Oh, I walked clean out of my shoes. I said, please, anybody who can help me, please help me get my son back. Please help me get my son back. They've sold my son. I was worn and ragged. I was about to give up. After about 2 months or so, a gentleman heard me. He says, man, I think I can help you. He was from the Lawyers Society from New York City. He says, what we have to do is petition the court with a written document. You put your mark on the paper, I give it to the judge, and all we have to do is wait. When I hear anything, I'll let you know. He says, thank you. Thank you, dear sir. Thank you, I believe in the law. What they did was illegal, so I'm hoping to get my son back. I'm hoping to get my son back. I'm hoping to get my son back.
It was the 31st of August, 1962. I had been to the SNCC meeting, and for the first time, I found out that Negroes could register to vote. They could vote people in office, and they could vote people out. So I was a part of a busload of people, I think about 25, 26 of us, and we bust that way all the way over to Indianola, Mississippi, to register to vote. Now I'm not sure exactly how long we were there. They only had a couple of people in the room at a time. And I was one of the first ones to fill out the form, and then I gets back on the bus. Well, by and by, everybody filled out their forms to register and got back on the bus, and we was on our way back home to Wooville. But that's when the highway patrolman pulled that bus over. Yes, he did, too. And he ordered the driver to turn around and go back to Indianola. Once we got back to Indianola, he charged the bus driver with driving the wrong color bus. Now I'm telling you the gospel truth now. This is the same bus that was used to take us to the field to chop cotton and pick cotton, but on this day, it was the wrong color bus. Well, we had to go through a whole lot of something. Lord knows it was something. But we finally got back to Wooville in the wee hours of the morning. By the time I got back on my plantation, I was already 5. My husband come and tell me that Mr. was hot. See how fast word get back. By and by, Mr. he come up on the step and he stand back, reared back. He said, Pat, that's what he called my husband. Did you tell her what I said? My husband said, yes, sir. Then he turned around and looked at me. Did Pat tell you what I said? I said, he did. Well, you got to go back down there and withdraw that registration, or you got to get up out of here. Well, I didn't mean to get smart with old mister, but I told him I didn't register for you, I was registering for myself. Well, we ain't ready for none of that here in Mississippi. Well, you don't know. I've been ready for it for a long time. But by the time the sun went down, I had to leave that plantation. So I went to stay with my friend, Mary Tucker. But my husband felt some kind of way about that. So he took me away down in Sumner Mississippi. It wasn't but a few days later, 16 bullets were shot up in that Tucker home. See, they didn't know I had left. On that same night, 2 girls were shot. On that same night, they shot up Joe McDonald's house. And it leaves me to ask the question, is this America? Land of the free and home of the brave, or as we say in Mississippi, land of the tree and home of the grave, where people are lynched and murdered and shot and killed. Why? Because we want to register to vote.
I got word that my son Peter was on his way back to New York City. Oh, that was a day. Oh, that was a day. We went back to New York City, and when Peter got off that wagon, he was all skin and bones, and his clothes was ragged, and I could see the beating marks on his body. I said, Peter, come to your mama, Peter. But he ran under the table and he was making sounds like an animal. I said, Peter, come to your mama. He said, see, they told him everybody was dead. And I remember singing him a song when he was a little baby. Oh, little baby, don't you cry. I think he remembered. He came from under the table. Oh, I have my son back again. I have my son. Oh, I thank the lawyers, I thank the judges, I thank the Quaker Society, I thank the churches. I thank everybody that helped me get my son back. I was the first woman, first colored woman, to go to courts and petition the courts to get someone back who was sold between state lines. So I like the law. I believe in the law. So I went back to the bandwagon and said, I got to make my own way, I've got to go. They said, no, Val, you and your son and daughter can stay here for as long as you like. I said, no, I got to go. I've been a burglar for too long. I didn't know what I was going to do. Where I was going to go, I didn't have no money, no job, no family, no clothes, nothing. But I knew I had to go. So I took Peter and Sophie by the hand, and we just walked, and we ended up in New York City. Oh, there were so many people about to knock us over. Buggers and wagons and all the buildings. And I could see the ships in the dock and the birds flying. And there were hungry people lined up all by the building saying, please, just give me a piece of bread, please. But I didn't have nothing to give them. Nothing at all. So we just walked. And I looked between 2 buildings and I saw a cross. So that must be a church. So I went in there. It was a St. John Methodist Church of New York City. And I told the minister my story. He says, Rob, we got a little room in the back where we keep our spare hymnals and books and things and room. You're more than welcome to stay there. I said, thank you. I'll be here at least out of the weather. It was a little tiny room. I had to scoop down to get in it. But we stayed in that little room. And of course, I had to make myself useful. So I did dusting the hymnals and the Bible and making sure the chairs were nice and straight. And that's where we went to worship on Sundays. But I didn't like the arrangement there. They had all the white people down front and all the colored people up in the balcony. I said, now, if God were to come here right now, I want to be able to run down the aisle and say, God, it's me, and touch the hem of his garment. But if I'm all the way in the balcony, I have to come down to a little flight, then down the steps, and back around to the center aisle. By the time I do all of that, God will be gone. I want to be able to sit on the front row when I worship so that when God comes, I can just reach out and touch him. So I started to find myself a place of worship. And one day I heard hymns being sung. And I looked in the window, I saw a lady shouting and thanking God for everything that God did. And then she fell on the floor and started to spin around. And I said, I want to go to church. It was the AME Zion Church of New York City. So I stayed in the back of the Methodist church, but I worshiped at the AME Zion Church, where I could sit on the front seat and worship God. So by then, Pete, of course, was getting himself into trouble. Some of the boys, he was getting bigger. Twice I had to go down to the constable office to get him before they put him in jail. I said, what can we do with Peter? I said, man, everybody's starving now. And he said, the Merchant Marines, they're hiring. So we signed Peter up for the Merchant Marines. They taught him to read and write, and he studied for about 6 months or so. He got his uniform and he sailed off on the SS Nantucket whaling ship. Oh, that was a happy day. Then he would write letters to me and say he's having a good time, but after about 2 years or so, the letters stopped coming, so I don't know what happened to my son Peter. One day I was coming from church. I saw this gentleman in a long robe and beard, and he said his name was Matthias. He belonged to the kingdom. And they had a big commune on the outskirts of town. And he says in the commune, everyone is equal, men and women, there are no color lines. He said, you can come and live with us if you like. And I needed a place to stay. So I moved into the kingdom. But I prayed to God, because my daughters were still back there with the Dumonts. They couldn't leave until they were 25. I said, oh, please, dear God, change Dumont's heart for me, change his heart. And something told me to go back there. When I went back there, Dumont met me at the gate. He says, Belle, come in. He says, Belle, please forgive me for all the things I did to you. He said, that slavery is one of the meanest things one person could ever do to another. Please forgive me. But your daughters will have to stay here until they're 25, according to that law. But I'll make sure they have food and clothes, and I'll treat them very well. He says, oh, thank you, dear God. Thank you, dear God. You never disappoint me. Thank you, dear God. Thank you.
I knew that if God had his hand in mine, my hand in his, that somehow was going to get through this. It was going to be all right. My God, he told me in the book of Ephesians that I had to put on the whole armor of God. Because what we're dealing with is not flesh and blood, but we're dealing with evil, darkness in unseen places. Lord knows I know how unseen they are. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this war in Vietnam. I'm sick of this poverty and hunger down here in Mississippi. I am sure sick of Mississippi. You know they got state officials that go up there to D.C. telling them that the Negroes is getting along just fine and they satisfied. Well, I'm here to tell you we ain't satisfied and we ain't never been satisfied. I'm sick of these lies. I'm sick of all this war. I'm tired of struggling, trying to make it, working all day for nickels and pennies. I'm tired. I am sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I ain't going to stop until we are registered to vote, until we can become first-class citizens. I'm on a war path for the rest of my life. Yes, Lord Jesus, don't leave me now.
I continued working at the commune and continued to cook and clean and help out the best I could. But I didn't like the goings on there. I said, good friend, what will you have me to do? He says, Belle, be about your father's business. So I immediately started packing my things. I said, Belle, where are you going? I says, I don't know. I said, well, Belle, how are you going to get there? I says, I don't know. I said, well, Belle, will you be back this way? I says, well, I don't know that either. I said, well, Belle, I'm hoping that you'll be safe and you'll come back this way as well. Maybe one day I'll come back this way. But for now, I got to be about my father's business. God told me to speak against slavery, the evilness of slavery. God told me to speak about the ills of sin, and God told me to speak for women's rights. He told me to walk up and down the countryside to do that, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that day when I left New York City with $2 in my pocket and a song in my heart. I dare not look back, because like Lot's wife, I might turn into a pillar of salt. Because that New York was the second Sodom and Gomorrah, I tell you. All the things my eyes see, I tell you, Sodom and Gomorrah. So I continued walking, I continued singing. So now that I'm a free woman, I need a free woman's name. What shall I call myself? God told me to walk up and down the countryside, speak about women's rights. God told me to speak about ills of sin and slavery. God told me to sojourn the countryside, to walk up and down the countryside. God told me to sojourn. God told me to sojourn the countryside. I am a sojourner. That's what I am. I'll call myself sojourner. I like that. So I kept on walking and I kept on humming.